Many athletes and parents have become frustrated with the changes that have been made to traditional sports seasons this school year. The Let Us Play movement was born out of these frustrations. A few weeks ago, a rally was held downtown at the Thompson Center. One of those present was Edgy Tim O'Halloran. We caught up with Tim to learn more about Let Us Play.
Well, the Let Us Play, I guess we'll call it a movement, was just something that kind of developed. It's kind of a grassroots movement, I guess. I'm very fortunate I'm able to stay in contact with quite a few coaches from across the state. And the one common theme was, well, why are we not attempting to try to do something here? So it started really a statewide, I guess I'd call it a coalition of coaches, high school football coaches that we're tired of sitting back and kind of nothing happening. So we started up Let Us Play to at least get our thoughts known that, there are several states that have opened up. They have been successful opening up, certainly taking into account safety and health at all costs. And that's kind of the genesis of what this movement was created for and what we're looking to accomplish. From a support standpoint, it's been a really interesting dynamic. I think the coaches are totally on board of what we're trying to accomplish. Yet, I think from several administration standpoints, they're not as supportive. And I think when it tied into the rally, certainly the rally downtown in Chicago, I know there was some criticism about the numbers, the overall numbers that showed up. I personally felt it was a successful rally. I felt that there was a good amount of support. There were, I thought, some tremendous speakers.
This hybrid consists of 2 to 3 days in school with 2 to 3 days of e-learning for full day. This was our 4th successful week of in-school learning. So it can be done. Your administrations need to fight for it.
With going to a CPS, I believe that we need sports really bad. It's our way of escape. My teammates and myself and everyone in the CPS, this is how we get scholarships.
Now is the time for state leaders to give us, the future leaders of this great state, the chance to show that we can do things on and off the field in a safe and healthy manner.
And that's why we're asking Governor Pritzker to not only consider our physical health and safety, but our mental health and well-being and the long-term effects of canceling youth sports in the state of Illinois, and to let us play.
I heard Governor Pritzker said this week that he would not put Illinois families and children at risk. I argue you are. By keeping his kids off the field, you already have done that.
And the message we wanted to get out there was able to be put out, and that was the fact that work with us, help us find a way back to try to bring sports back, to try to attempt to have a season in the fall, and to allow us to do it the right way and the safe way. My whole thing from the very beginning is, okay, we're doing everything, we're following all the rules and all the protocol, but this thing isn't disappearing anytime soon. So let's try to live with this, and let's give us guidelines and follow it, and let us try to get back some normalcy, whether that's sports or school or work or what have you. Let's try to move forward. I think if anything, all these other sports should be cheering us on and saying, look, yeah, get football going, get some of these other sports going so we can try to keep some normalcy. I think we're trying to at least get our season going, give them some sort of semblance of actually getting a full season, let basketball actually have a postseason this time around, let them try to keep as much of a full schedule as possible, and same with baseball, softball, and the spring sports and what have you. Another part of this movement, the Let Us Play movement, has been what is going to happen in the spring. The last time we had heard anything from the IHSA goes back to late July, when we were told that football was going to be postponed from the fall into the spring. We would have a 7-game regular season schedule and a 2-game postseason. I still don't know who proposed that. Every coach I've talked to said they don't know who's proposed that. So if we actually have this quasi season in the spring, let's say we finish early May, so do we wait 30 days and then all of a sudden teams get 25 contact days for the next season? What about the health and safety in that with having kids play a season, taking 30 days off and getting back after it. And there's a lot of talk about, the mental health side of this and the impact on student athletes, and behind the scenes, these kids are suffering. And it's more than just getting into the field. It's structure. It's, discipline that's brought. It's mentorship. I mean, you've got the Chicago Public League coaches that haven't really been with their kids since March. And these coaches are much more, believe me, they are much more than just high school football coaches. They, as I mentioned, they are mentors. They are, father figures. They are, and let's face it, the reason a lot of these kids are in school and they continue to toe the line is because, like it or not, they're trying to stay eligible for sports. I talk to coaches all over the state in all different areas, and the big concerns for these schools are, are you going to continue to lose kids to the streets? It might sound strange for us in the suburbs saying that, but it's a huge concern everywhere. You need to keep kids engaged. You need to keep kids involved. And again, one of the beauties and the real valuable aspect of high school sports is it is keeping them on track. It is keeping them in the classroom and focused and keeping the grades up and staying on track.
Let us play! Let us play!